Welcome to the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast.
I'm Jill from New York.
And I'm Linda from Tasmania.
We are two moms from opposite sides of the world who are living, demonstrating, and helping moms across the world build their self-care asset bank.
Ready to dive in? Messy, interrupted, imperfect, and most of all mucked up. Let's get going.
Hello.
Here we are.
Yay.
Hooray. We made it. We made it. And so far, not any interruptions. So she says like 55 seconds in. And there we go. There it is.
As soon as we hit record, he wakes up. I love it.
Just like that. Anyway, if you are joining us for the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast, we welcome you with open arms, and we're going to start with some highs and lows because there are many sides to self-care and parenting and humans in general. Do you want to do a bit of...
I got some highs and lows. I can go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Let's see. High we'll start with. Actually, no, we're going to start with a low. Low was Declan was getting bit. We're thinking it's mosquitoes because it doesn't look like anything else. Overnight, while sleeping in his bed for like 3 days straight. It was also when we had a heat wave. So like the temperatures, I could not tell you what it was in Celsius, but it was like 100 degrees here, Fahrenheit, for 3 days straight. All of a sudden, every morning he's waking up with mosquito bites. I'm like, how is this possible? I've racked my brain. I've washed sheets because I thought it was bed bugs, possibly changed beds. We actually changed his furniture from the guest room and switched out beds, which needed to happen anyway. Still got the bites. Washed the sheets again. Still got the bites. Taped up the air conditioner in the window. Still getting bites. I'm like, okay, we have an infestation, but he's the only one getting bit. Ended up not being just in his bed, but also in the living room and the dining room. So I'm like, okay, why does this kid keep getting these mosquito bites?
Yeah, I swear there's some sort of blood that they just love because we have the same thing. It's
ridiculous. I put pants on him and he was fine. Like no bites now because they don't go after his face or his arms. It's just his legs. Like his legs are covered by the sheet. How is it getting under the sheet?
You're so stinky. Awful.
So that was my low because 1, he's in pain. 2, I can't figure it out. And I'm like tearing my house apart, cleaning it now. So, the high is, it was Declan's birthday and it was just a blast to celebrate him turning 5. He's an amazing child and just blew me away with how much fun he had. So it was a pretty fun birthday weekend. I loved how it pretty much brought the school year to an end and kicked off his summer. So it's a really fun weekend that we just got through for him and his birthday, and then pre-K being over and moving on to kindergarten. It's just, there was just so much, and I am exhausted from it, but it's a good exhaustion. Like we can sit and just reminisce about how awesome this birthday was for him.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So Linda, highs and lows for you, ma'am.
I'm going to start with the low as well. So I think the low that I have sounds like a very first world problem. A bit like you, I'm trying to rearrange furniture, and I've given the boys their rooms back after they didn't have them for a while. And so that means that I've lost my space. My office space was my office sort of setup. And originally I thought, okay, I'll just have to put it in the bedroom, and just the two will have to just blend into one, and that's just temporary for now. It's just not going to work though. This room is smaller than I thought, and it's just really squashed and uncomfortable, and just not actually working at the moment. So I'm just going to finish.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
So, trying to work out where it can go, how I rearrange more of the
stuff you already have to in what you need to.
And I just need a corner, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the only corner I can think that might work is freezing in winter, which we're in the middle of. Yeah. It's really freezing. So I'm still just not quite sure how it's going to work yet. We will get there. But yeah, just racking my brain trying to work out how we can just find a way to. Yeah. Anyway, as far as my high, we've been doing a whole stack of bike riding lately. The kids in particular have found some fire trails and big dirt jumps and tracks, which means that their adrenaline is absolutely pumping.
Love it.
And so at the moment, they're completely obsessed with mountain biking and trails, and even the little ones have been going down hills and off track and everything else like that. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yep. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. So much fun.
Yeah, Declan got a new bike for his birthday, but we gave it to him early because he needed a bigger bike. And he has been nonstop on it. It's so much fun. I love this bike era. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, and it's so regulating, just the up and down of the pedals and the motion, and the fact that they can go fast in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's been so great to watch it just develop into so much more.
What I love about it's almost like forced self-care for us. Because it's that movement, and it's like, okay.
It means you have to get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm often like jogging to keep up with them.
Yes.
As well.
I had to start riding my bike. Yeah. Because I'm like, I can't keep up with you walking anymore.
No. Mm-hmm.
So,
So
now we both ride our
and
bikes.
They make friends and all that sort of stuff. We had two of my eldest, two of his friends come along with us yesterday as well, and then we came back and made homemade pizzas and had a really great day. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
So,
yeah, we had
so it actually flowed really well.
Yeah. We had a friend meet up with us at a campsite this past week because Declan finished school, so we had to go help my parents out, and we had my girlfriend come meet us, and I was like, bring the bike so the kids can ride their bikes together. And that's what they did the whole time they were hanging out. They were just playing. I'm like, this is the best way for kids to hang out, is just have bikes and just ride.
It is. It really is. It's just, it's the exercise and everything else that goes along with it. Yeah. So while that's really good for when it does go well, what about the days when you're just really struggling to fit everything in? Like I know we
every
had a bit of a conversation, like every day. She says. I know my sister was joking about this today because she's got a 1-year-old who's having a bit of a moment. I think he's about to start walking soon.
Oh.
And so he's just going through that phase where he's like, I know there's something really big happening in my brain and I just don't know what it is. And so now I just want to be carried, or I sort of want to be carried, but I also want to be put down, but I don't want to be put down and I don't want to be held and I don't want to be and it's just grumpy bum. It's just a grumpy.
Yeah.
And so she's just like, so many times I'll just turn around and like, I just need my arms. I just need to be able to have my arms. And she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It can be so challenging when things don't go to plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Even just the loose plans. Like I realize there are some days where it just actually doesn't go to plan. Like last week we couldn't record because my day was an absolute shit fight. I'm sorry. Like that's the best way to describe it. It just, it was really challenging. And I was a grumpy bum too.
So we have these days where we have kids home with us and we don't have something going on, but we still need to get things done. Right. And Linda, you and I were talking before we even hit record that like you have one day a week without your kids, and that's the day that you fill up with things that you can do without the kids. And then I'm at
4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours, really a day.
And then what happens when you have one of them around, because now we're on holiday coming up and stuff for school holiday, we still got to get that stuff done. And now we are added with just an extra person or two hanging off of us while we try to get this stuff done. So what do? We tend to find ourselves making what we have to get done catered around our little ones. So with birthday plans this weekend, I jam-packed our day because it's like, we got to get stuff done. I have appointments. You have appointments. I don't know, but I might need to do this from now on. I made a schedule for Declan with a picture and the word of what we had to do. Like, it started with karate. Then he was being brought out to breakfast with my sister. So I had that down. And then we had a touch a truck event at the library where they got to go and like just go play in a whole bunch of big trucks, which was awesome. But I wasn't sure we were going to make it because we had to go move my parents at campsites from one campsite to another. But I put it all down with pictures, with the times. He had something to follow. He stayed on schedule with me because I'm like, okay, we're going to the next spot. Remember, like, look at our schedule. This is what's happening next. And I was able to get both things that he wanted done and the things I needed to get done. I mean, this day was planned out to the minute, but we got it done. And I'm thinking I might need to do that for the rest of the summer, of like just printing out pictures of what his schedule is like, because it was the best way for him to follow and him having the best response to me saying, no, it's time to go. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
And
I loved it.
Yeah. And it can be so, like, today we were trying to get out the door and I'd already prepped them and told them the plans for the day, and like there was a whole lead up, and then all of a sudden Queen's like, I'm just going to get this screwdriver. I'm like, oh. Oh, no. But the visual aspect of it, of knowing something that might be coming up, or it's really hard for their brains because they haven't formed a lot of the capability to go, okay, so 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Like, they can't tell the time on the clock.
No.
And saying 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 hour is basically useless as well.
Yeah.
But I've also found that tone works well for some of my children. And creating a sing-song sort of voice, like, time to go.
I always break out in song with him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know, though, my 2-year-old now, so I will say, time for bed, and she'll say, no. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Declan has started doing sing-songy stuff too now, just on his own without even me, like, as a response. But he's done that too. I think it's so funny. I can't believe he's doing that.
And it's a mood shifter. I think, as well, when it's feeling like it's just all a bit intense. And you might be on the tipping point of being like, get in the car.
Yeah.
Well, your shoes on.
I've been giving Declan the option. I'm like, well, I can leave you here. Not that I would ever leave him alone, but I give him that, like, well, if you'd like to stay, you can stay. I'm just not staying with you. I have to go here next. You can come with me, or you can stay here and I'll come back and get you. And usually that's like, no, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
Like I would never
See how
leave
long
you,
that works for.
but most times it's with my sister anyway, because she's always hanging out with us. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so you two can stay here and I'm going this way, and then I'll be back later to get you. And that tends to be helpful for us. But also just the option of like, yeah, you can, like it was with the trucks. I'm like, you have 5 more minutes. You can go see another truck, or we can get on the road because we got to go help. Like, so what are we doing? You want 5 more minutes to go check out another truck? Great. We have only 5 minutes and then we're out of here. So those options of like, which is the priority, are starting to formulate. And I know he's only 5 and that cognitive ability is not always just there, but I think that desire of what he wants, just the same with us, like what is it that we want out of that day that we have alone, or even with just one of 4 children. I don't what is the priority, and trying to practice that, seeing more trucks or moving on to the next spot to see people we love, going to our birthday party or staying around doing nothing over here. So I am finding that he's starting to learn a little bit more about the things that are important to him and how time is working with it. But you were right. He cannot tell time yet. So adding that, like it's not time for him to figure that out, but at least it gives him like the order of what things are doing.
So as far as, being flexible with our plans, because I think that's almost what we're talking about, being able to be flexible when it comes to self-care. Do you think flexibility builds resilience in children?
I think so. I think, and I can see that in Declan already. Like I get less tantrums when I'm like, you know what? We're just not going to be able to do this today. We're going to have to try and do it a different day. We ran out of time. And I don't get the tantrum that I would have like, no, we need to do this now today. My life is over if we don't get this done. And I think he sees it in us as we're figuring out, you know what? There's just not enough time for me to go here anymore. And then I'm home. He's like, Mommy, what happened? Why are you home? Like, well, it took too long for me to get out of the house because I had to worry about you. And like half the time it's, after bedtime. So if I'm the one stuck doing bedtime, I'm not going out. So I think I've seen some evidence of him understanding that flexibility and how it works, and that there's still an opportunity later on to not get upset about it now. I don't know, have you noticed differences in all 4 of your children?
Yeah, I think each of them handle it a little bit differently, and each of them handle it depending on what the event is, what else is happening. Like a lot of flexibility is easier when needs are met. And I noticed that in myself. So last Monday, I talked about where everything just turned to absolute poo.
Yeah.
I felt like there was no flexibility because all of a sudden I had one of my kids off sick from school. And so I knew that I had unmet needs. I knew that it was also day 28 in my cycle, which is cranky o'clock for me. And so I had made plans which were to try and balance a little bit of that out.
Yeah.
I had made plans to get outside and go for a walk and take the kids for a ride and go and do a little bit of socializing and get around people so that I wasn't so cranky. And then all of a sudden I was thrown into this situation where I was at home looking at mess on top of mess and then watching the kids make more mess and just going, just no. And it didn't feel like there was any flexibility. It didn't feel like my needs were being met. I just felt like I was meeting everybody else's really badly. And so it is that underlying need. So I know that if my children need sleep, that is the priority over being flexible.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they can just have one more play or one more book or one more of most things. I know that they just need sleep. And if I become too flexible in those moments, the sleep the sleep monsters come out. And being flexible in those times is actually a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and you're like, and again, my needs aren't met because I haven't had any time to myself. And then it's just, yeah, it just all gets crazy. Same with food. Like if I know if they're really hungry, that is we can't be too flexible because it's one thing after another, and then 2 hours later they're starving, and everybody's completely beside themselves. So I think it requires a little bit of both. They do appreciate the stability and the routine.
Sure.
But then there's also times where you're like, you know what? Yeah, like you said, we just ran out of time to do that today. Or no, I am not going to the supermarket right now to get you that thing because I just don't want to get out of the house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed early on Declan thrived on routine, so we've definitely kept that. And so, like, last week we had a heat wave and school was let out early one of the days because they couldn't handle the heat. So it screwed everything up on my end to have an early dismissal. But I had to just go with it. Like there's no option. I mean, if school's closed, that's it. So I didn't really have too much that I needed to do anyway that day, but it was, I needed to be flexible. So
What's that, Mommy?
I don't know, Declan. I'm trying to figure it out, buddy.
Yeah.
Where's the box? I need the instructions.
I keep picturing us being like bending over backwards as well. No, we can be too flexible that we're just meeting everybody else's needs and not our own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't great self-care.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, that's how we get to burnout. And that's one thing that I am recognizing that, maybe I need this day a week for just 4 hours to get stuff done. Like I'm noticing that I'm not using my sticky note time planner. I'm not looking at it. I'm not taking advantage of that. I'm relying just on my digital calendar, which doesn't tell me the whole picture. Like it's so challenging, and I'm finding that I'm spiraling out of control with everything going on. A lot of it's the unknown right now, and there's just so much unknown and waiting that I'm doing and revolving around family right now that it's interfering with my nuclear family, like the three of us, and it just radiates out. So I'm like, I think I need this one day where I can just have 4 hours to myself, just to kind of be alone and not cater to everyone else, like you're saying, Linda, where you just haven't had your needs met yet. I feel like I'm getting my needs met because Declan and I ride our bike to school every day. Now that's over, so I don't have that opportunity to get out routinely.
Mommy, what we're doing today?
We'll figure it out in a few minutes, okay? Thanks, bud.
Mommy,
Mommy, hold on, I'm talking.
Just like that. Right on cue. Hilarious.
So I don't know, maybe that's what I need to do this summer, even though he's in camp and will be entertained. I don't know, Linda, that 4 hours a week just for ourselves. I think sometimes we need a season where that's what we're doing, as prioritizing our needs being met and what we need to do to feel satisfied, instead of being everyone else's energy stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, flexibility only goes so far.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
And it works both ways. Yeah. It's interesting because I actually talk with my 10-year-old about snapping rubber bands. It's like, my rubber band's just been snapped. My rubber band's snapped.
Yeah.
When he just gets stretched too far or has a bit of an outburst. That's the way we describe it. So I think that's an important thing to remember.
Yeah.
So, Jill, I'm going to let you carry on with your Monday. I'm going to head into tonight and get a few things done. And yeah, we will aim to.
If you're feeling messy too, I mean, you're not alone, listener. So reach out, please.
Reach out, please.
We're happy to talk these things out, like know what it's like. It's so challenging.
Mommy,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Down.
So, Jill, and
yes,
everybody else, until next week.
we hope you can unstuck your Mac.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.